In general, these Jack Russells are very intelligent dogs. They know how to get their way, and if you're not smart, they will use their intelligence against you. Trust me. So let's dive into some of the specifics on why I believe these guys are so smart to begin with. I would say the number one reason out of the beginning is how quickly they recognize routines, just based on timing and how the day goes, how it flows. She has her timing down to a T so well when it comes to when I feed the other dog, and I feed them in completely separate rooms, that she will sprint to the other side of the house and look through. We just have a dog gate that separates those two rooms so that the big dog doesn't eat her food. But before I even get the food out, if I even just make a couple steps that direction, she knows she's waiting. She's already starting to drool. She's ready to eat at that point. And that's pretty incredible to me, just how quickly they learn those routines. I mean, she's still pretty young, and for her to be picking up on things like that, pretty cool. The next reason, guys, that I think these guys are so smart is just how quickly they're able to learn tricks. And by tricks, I don't necessarily mean anything too fascinating or too awesome in the form of, you know, the way tricks go. I think I'm speaking more about commands, but when it comes to basic training like sit, lay down, those kinds of commands, they pick up on really quickly, especially if you utilize things like clicker training. They can learn very quickly, and they want to learn if you're willing to teach them. So you kind of just have to take that time out of your day, whether that's 10 minutes or 20 minutes, whatever you have time for. You got to take that time to train them, and they will be receptive. They'll listen to you more attentively than a lot of dogs will, with the way they just make eye contact and sit patiently for the next order or command, so to speak. But they are very good, very receptive, and very smart when it comes to training. Reason number 3, guys, is potty training, which I know that we just talked about training, but that kind of falls into the same category. The only thing I would say is a caveat to the potty training with Jack Russells is their size. So they're a smaller dog, which took me a while to get used to. They just can't hold pee at all. And I was used to my yellow lab, and when we were potty training him, you know, you do the basic things like set a routine, take him on walks, etc. And he would just be able to hold it longer before he got antsy. With these Jack Russells, when they're young, no matter how smart they are, you better have a pretty broken up day to be able to let them out several times, because those tiny little bladders just are not going to hold it. So be prepared for that. But also be excited with how quickly they are going to learn to be potty trained. It's not an issue for us anymore. Clearly that would be a problem 2 years later, but it was fast. It was a couple months and she was fully potty trained. No more issues in the house, no more pee, no more poop, none of the above. She's got it down. No problems at all. She learned it quickly, and it's one of the reasons I think these guys are so intelligent. Reason number 4 for why I think these guys are so smart is just how quick they learn like little games. I think my son is the one that taught her to play fetch, and he's 4 years old, and he didn't even really teach her, and now she knows how to fully play fetch, drop it, go get it. It took her like 10 minutes to learn how to do it. I mean, she's waiting patiently right now to play because I got her ball out here. Ready to go get it? You want to show him? You want to show him if you're smart or stupid? Which one are you? Jack Russell's jump too, keep that in mind. You ready to show him? Go get it. Yeah, guys, they learn quick. These are smart dogs. They're escape artists too, which would probably be reason number 5 that I think they're so smart. Whenever we first got her, oh man, we've had to proof the yard a little bit more than just having a fence. If you haven't read my post on terrierowner.com, I will link it in the description below about your fencing options, or if you want to use like a portable fence option, more like a playpen outdoors. But if there is a will, there's a way for these guys to get out. They will. I mean, they act like it's prison break from a yard, even though it's not that they're unhappy in the yard. They want an adventure and they want to explore, and if they can find a way out, whether it's tunneling, whatever the case may be, they're extremely intelligent with clever ways of getting out of a yard. Another reason why I think these guys are so gosh darn smart is just how little you have to emphasize some things to them. Now that does come with a catch. Things like jumping, that can be more difficult to train out of them in the beginning, but other things like jumping on the couch, which is like kind of the same, but it's different. You'd have to own one to understand where I'm coming from, but it gets to a point where you no longer even have to give a command or do anything. Just your body language or my facial expressions is enough with her to get a point across to where she will either stop the behavior or get down. If they can sense that they're not pleasing you, which is their number one goal as your dog, these guys love to please, then they will correct that behavior if you have trained them and taught them to do so. Bring me the ball, Luna. No, get the ball. Let's play. You don't want to play? Is it because we're on video? You don't want to play? You don't play whenever the camera's on? Because you like making me look stupid for everybody? That's alright. Fine with me, I guess. Alright, my next and one of my favorite reasons about these guys being smart is leash training them and them running, like any form of exercise. Them learning the cadence and how to run in stride, which may be really common for all dogs, but she learned it really fast. My lab is a puller. He likes to go off to every single tree, do his business, mark his territory. When you get in the groove and start exercising with these dogs, they're like having a true running partner. They learn it very fast. They can change paces, they can keep up with you, and they can stay right at, you know, your foot side so that it's not a pain to run with them. Running with her is awesome. It doesn't bother me in the slightest. Running with my lab is more like being pulled on a sled down the road. So maybe that's more of just a big dog and being silly and stupid when he's out and about, and it doesn't really plead the case that she's smart. But in my opinion, I mean, I think that that's a skill that they have, and it is a reason that makes them smart, so I'm throwing it in there. So to kind of sum things up, for those of you who might be thinking about considering adopting one of these or just did, if you're struggling with them in the beginning, it doesn't seem like they're responding, give it a little bit of time. She was kind of a stubborn, dumb puppy. Not to say it in a horrible way, but they are whenever they're puppies. They chew, they dig. I mean, she still digs from time to time. They can escape. They can be a real pain in the butt in the beginning, but they become awesome if you will take that time to just teach them a little bit each day. Whether it's just give them 5 minutes of command training. I mean, that's good enough. Sit, lay down, shake, stay, come, those kinds of things. It is good enough to get their brain kind of moving and occupied. Make sure they get some exercise, and it's almost like their intelligence can come out more at that point because they're calmed down. That exercise is huge for these guys, whether that's playing fetch like you saw me doing it a minute ago with her, or taking them on a run, whatever the case may be. Move around with them. It helps get some of that nervous energy out of them so that they can focus on the more comprehensive training that will, you know, benefit you 15 years down the road. These guys live a while, so keep that in mind. You got a long time to have that bond with these guys, so it's worth taking that time in the beginning to teach them. But overall, when it comes to dogs and their intelligence, I would rank them definitely towards the top. I mean, she makes my lab look stupid, and I know that labs are one of the smarter dog breeds, but he's just a big dummy. Sweetheart, but can act real stupid sometimes. But overall, these dogs are awesome, guys. If you're thinking about getting one, I recommend doing it. If you just got one, congratulations. So make sure you're subscribing to the channel so you can always come back for those videos. Say bye.